Cheers! Time for another TBR game. Alright, and before I forget, if you do want to play along, I do have a link to my shop where you can get the game down below so you can print and play right off the bat. This game is super flexible. The whole point of this game is to encourage you to read stuff that you want to read. So don't take it seriously, have fun, and let's get into it. Let's do a quick roundup of the points from last game. So we'll have the points here. I did get a goal getter mark 1 on the tracker last round, but I didn't mark it, so I do have that for the board points. I also ended up reading 5,425 pages, so that gives me 5 points for pages. I read all 5 of the books that I ended up getting in the last TBR game, so I get 5 points for that. 1 point for a book that has LGBT+Q representation, 2 points for reading a sci-fi book, 1 point for reading a young adult, and 1 point for reading a new to me author. I was not able to read a book from the current year, so I forfeit this, and this will go back into the pile. But that is 5 additional card points, turning that into 10 card points total. And then for bonus points, my 3 bonus point categories are nonfiction, continuations of series, and rereads, because those are things that I want to do more of that I struggle doing. I was going to do challenges so that I can get points anytime I participate in a challenge, but I'm going to do that anyway, so that feels like a cheat. These are things that I struggle with. So I did end up reading 2 nonfictions, which I don't have the physical, so I got 2 points for that. And then after reading Mistborn, I read the rest of the trilogy, so I get 2 points for that. I do actually think one of these would be considered a continuation of a series because they're in the same universe and they are both part of a series, but I haven't read the beginning of them, and although they connect, it doesn't feel right counting it. So I only get 2 and 2, so 4 points for that. That does mean that we have a total of 20 milestone points that we can put on the milestone tracker. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We move +2 spaces. That was 6, 7, 8. Let's re-roll that. 9, 10, 11. A draw 2, keep 1, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's worth more when completed. 19, 20. So here are all the bonus cards that I ended up getting. I forgot to pick this before playing the round, so I actually will save these for the next round. They will not happen this round. Okay, so from that, I didn't get any milestones from the tracker, and I haven't hit any milestones for my overall reading goal, so I get 0 milestone points for this round, and I do get 16 points for reading 16 books, which means that this month's total is 36. So we're starting off the year strong. And then our total points of 36. Here we go. That out of the way, let's get to this month's game, and I do have to say that I have quite a big caveat when it comes to this month. It is February. In February, I always try and read exclusively by Black authors. I'm going to be trying to participate in the Blackathon for this year, and just in general, I'm making that my focus for Black History Month. I try and read a lot by POCs throughout the year in general, but I love just making it exclusive in February. I'm going to have to keep that in mind with every prompt that I get. Let's see how we do. Okay, let's get started. So for our first roll, we have a 1 and a 6. Hold on. First, let's grab our first bonus card. So this is busy, busy, 1 less read, but you still get a point. So this is to be used in place of a prompt. Let's see what the prompts are that I get. Wait, sorry, 6, 7, okay. 1, which gives me a board point. So we have 1 board point so far. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a re-roll. Okay, so 10, which is a double. Oh God, we got our first double! And that means that I have to do for 6 rounds instead of 5. So I just have to do one more go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So our first one is a normal prompt. And it is a book with a face on the cover. Okay, it's about time that I ended up getting one of those doubles. I decided as soon as I started doing 2 dice that I would do the Becca Bookopoly rule, where if you roll a double, you end up having to do another turn for that round or whatever. And it just never happened. It never freaking happened. So it's about time. It's a long time waiting. Okay, so for our first prompt, I'm going with The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson because it does have a lovely face on the cover, and I've been meaning to read this. I know that this is a hit or miss for some people because it is a Carrie retelling, and as far as I'm aware, it sticks very close to the source material, which does bother some people, but in this one, there is a racial commentary twist that's happening with it, so some people end up loving it regardless. I do remember watching the original Carrie movie along with some spin-off movies that I enjoyed, but I don't think it's going to be an issue for me reading something that is close to the source material, which is pretty much about a girl who gets bullied until she snaps and her telekinesis powers are unleashed and she lashes out on those who have wronged her. So yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how it goes here. I'm pretty sure our main character is white passing, and after her hair ends up getting wet and curls up, her secret is out and the bullying either starts or is increased, and the story goes on from there. All right, next roll. Another double. Uh-oh. Okay, so that means we have to get up to 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another normal prompt. Okay. Okay, I'm sure you caught that. I was supposed to go 10 spaces, not 7. I was too busy thinking how many turns I need to do this round and not actually paying attention to the number that I rolled. So, whoops. Okay. So my most recently acquired book. For our next prompt, I actually did have to cheat a little bit. I had to make sure that it was the most recently acquired book that is by a Black author, and that would be Don't Go Baking My Heart by N.G. Peltier. I've read their previous book, Sweet Hands, and absolutely loved this. I believe that this is a continuation of that series, so another character from that original romance novel, and I literally know nothing about it. I am excited to get to it, and I will also get another point for reading a continuation of the series. So here for it, here for it. Also, Black romance? Yes, please. All right, next roll. Okay, 6, a 4, and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So a tearjerker. I think I know what I'm doing for this one. All right, for our next one, tearjerker, it's about time. I have had The Death of Vivk Oji on my TBR for a while. I've been wanting to read it. I keep putting it off. Everybody says it's great. I need to read it, but I know it's gonna be emotional because we have our main character, Vivk Oji, who I believe has been murdered, and his body is dropped on this doorstep of his family, and we basically go back in time to try and discover what happened, and we experience his life and the people that are around him and the connections and all of that. Vivk Oji is either trans or gay and isn't accepted, so I believe it's about him coming to terms with his identity and the people that he meets along the way. I could be wrong. I have not read it, but I've only heard good things about it, and I'm so excited to get to it, but I'm also a little scared because I know it's gonna be emotional. Okay, so we have to do at least 3 more goes. Next one, a 6 and a 2, so an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so this one is a book with a blank cover, so a color. So we have to roll, figure out. That's a 5, which is black. So a book with a black cover. All right, so for this prompt, I'm going with The Wicker King by K. Ancrum, and this is kind of the only book by a black author that I have that has a black cover. There is a ton of gold on it though, but like it's still a black cover, so don't at me. I have no clue what this is. It says he sees another world, but is it real? We have a misfit boy, and then we also have another character who is the golden boy who's on the varsity and rugby teams, and they apparently have had a strong friendship for a really long time that they've, I guess, been keeping secret, but they are really important to each other. So Jack starts seeing hallucinations and August tries to help. And so it's kind of, I guess, just them dealing with whatever these hallucinations have to deal with. And so yeah, that sounds really interesting. I've heard good things about this, but I don't know. It's been on my TBR for a while, so we'll see. All right, next one. A 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're both getting lucky and not lucky at the same time. Okay, so for this one, a book that no one is talking about. Okay, so for this one, I'm going with The Bones of Ruin by Sarah Rowley because I have not seen a single person talk about this book, like at all. But it seems freaking awesome. It is a historical fantasy book with a black cast that I believe work at a traveling circus, and our main character can't die. So I think in the back it ends up talking about a moment where she falls off of the tightrope into the crowd or whatever. She falls, she breaks her neck, she should be dead, but she stands up and everyone's like, oh my god, what's going on, and freaks out. And so somehow I think some big thing ends up happening and they have to be a part of it. I don't know. I'm really excited though because it seems right up my alley. I love historical stuff. I love when we're able to experience that through black eyes without it being like a slave narrative. So hopefully this will be a fun time, fingers crossed. Also, because I am gonna be doing like weekly or bi-weekly vlogs throughout February, so you will see all of these. All of these will be available for you to see my thoughts on them, for sure. So stay tuned. Okay, so we have at least 2 more to go. So next one is a 1 and a 2 again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we just avoided a demotion. We got a book that's been on my TBR for 1 or more years. And for this one, it's a book that's been on my TBR for over a year. That's War Girls by Tochi Onobuchi. God, I'm so bad with names. But this is supposed to be a epic sci-fi fantasy. Again, I don't know too much about it this time around. I don't know a lot of what these books are about, and I kind of don't want to. I want to go in knowing as little as possible. I think that's a lot of fun with these kinds of books. But it does say it's a post-apocalyptic Nigeria plagued with violence and political unrest. There's 2 sisters who dream of peace, hope, and a future together, and they're willing to fight an entire war to get there. So we've got War Girls. I'm excited. I've had it on my shelf for a while, and it's about time. It's about time. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so possibly our last roll. A 3 and a 5, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we got the TBR jar. Of course, we go from not getting those doubles to getting multiple, right? One game we gotta get multiple. I'm actually a little bit sad we didn't get more, but I'm gonna be reading so much this month. I'm here for it. Anyway, so we got the TBR jar. I did just update the content, so they're all just books by black authors. So we've got some good ones in here, and we've got some that I'm not super excited about. I have a bunch of books by black authors that are just like literary fiction, which I've realized is not really my thing. So I'm a little nervous, but like fingers crossed we get like a fun fantasy or romance or something. Horror even, like, let's see what we get. Okay, yes! I don't think you can see it. TBR Jar did me a solid because it picked a book that I am going to be reading for my 2023 A through Z reading challenge. I did it last year, had a lot of fun, want to try doing it again, and so I picked this book for the letter X because the book is called X, a novel. And this one is by Elisha Shabazz, the daughter of Malcolm X, and Kikla Magoon, the author of several books that I actually really enjoy. So I am super, super excited to read this and also to mark another book off of my A through Z challenge. So yes. All right, and here are all of the books that we're going to be reading this round. As usual, I will have all of them linked down below in the description box if you would like to purchase them yourself and help a sister out. I suggest using those links. But before we wrap everything up, let me also pick out the bonus reading cards for the month. So I have separated all of the reading bonus prompts into a separate thing so that I can pick 5 every month to give me an opportunity to get more points each month. Okay, so our first one, a book set in a different country. So we already have that with War Girls, which is a post-apocalyptic Nigeria. So I can use it for that or for a new book. Next one is paranormal. Next one is a debut novel. The next one is a thriller. And the last one is a classic. So if I can read books that fit these categories, I can get additional points on top of the TBR picks. And that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to thumbs up. Please include a skull or bone emoji down below. You can check out the 2023 tabletop TBR playlist here, or a playlist with all of the tabletop TBR games from all of the 3 years that I have been playing in here. Stick around for some of the upcoming reading vlogs, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then, bye! Good one.